This is Create. It's the part of Premiere Plus 2 that I use to digitize. When you open it, it looks like this with a small window that opens in front of it. This is the Windows version. The Mac version is different. Eventually, I'm going to see if a friend of mine can record those videos for me and possibly co-star on this a little bit, just so that you could see the difference between the Windows and the Mac version. And you can follow along a little bit with my Windows version. If you are on a Mac, just look for the button, because the symbols are the same. For instance, up over here with this box select symbol behind here, that's going to be the same symbol somewhere on your Mac version. But for the PC version, this is what it opens up to, and we're going to load a picture into the paint window, which is the main way I digitize things, because this video is kind of the different ways you could digitize something. So the first easiest way to do something as well, to not draw it from scratch of memory, is to load a picture in. We're going to be playing with a Celtic Knot, this one right here, which is very simple. In fact, I happen to know for a fact this will do a throw and through, which basically means I throw it through the computer and it spits out a decent after embroidery. This particular section is for, well, rotating and cropping the picture. I like to give it a little bit more room than the computer does with its cropping, because it does auto crop if it can register the image. I say if it can register the image, because not all images are going to register. Once you have it looking like what you like, and you can see on this side, it's got a nice little what it's going to be, and this side is what it was. Once you like it, and look at this side, because this is the side that matters, you're going to hit next. So I want to do this in a fairly small hoop. 80 by 80 is about 3 inches and some change by 3 inches and some change. So 25 millimeters is about an inch, as long as you're not a mathematician. If you're a mathematician, I'm sorry, I'm not a math person, so that. So it's going to be a little bit over 3 inches by 3 inches. Once you're there, you're going to go ahead and hit next. And then basically what I want to try to do here, because of what I'm doing, I want to try to get as many colors gone as I can while making the image good. In a colored image, this might not be under as much control as here, because it will delete colors for you. You don't really get to choose what colors go away. Once you've chosen the right colors, and the lower the better, you have to have at least 2, then you hit finish. This image is going to be a little bit raggedy and rusty around the edges. That's just because the image was rather large and I'm making it be rather small comparatively. There are 3 main ways that you're going to digitize. There's freehand create, precise create, and quick create. I'm going to start with Quick Create just because Quick Create is the one that most people are going to want to know about first. In order for Quick Create to work, it must be a very clean image, and I mean no shadows or shading or changing from pink to red or a gray tone in between a black and a white tone. So basically very flat, very crisp lined images. This one does work because I've tried it before. Quick Stitch is the first most common one. As you can see, it's going to do only the outer edge. This kind of dashity line thing is showing me what it's tracing, and if I hit OK, it's going to give me a whole blocked out image. If I wanted it to cut the holes for me, that's when I would click the Quick Stitch and Auto Hole. Again, clicking on the item, you can see these yellow lines are now showing me the parts it's cutting out. And when I hit OK, it does a pretty decent guy here. There's a little bit of issues around the edges, but doubtful that you would be able to see this. If I look at it in the 3D mode, you can see there's a few kind of, again, issues, but not ones that anyone but me or someone else who digitizes are going to even see. So if you're wanting to just be able to do that, just make sure your images are nice and clean, and you should be able to throw them through with the Quick Create method. The freehand create method. This method I'm also not going to use too much here. It is a free-handed method, meaning if I'm creating the line, I am tracing it. Typically I do this with a tablet. I do not have my tablet at the moment, so as you can see, my mouse skills are a little lacking, but I could draw this image from scratch and kind of just trace the areas I want to trace and tell it how to do it that way. Because of what I actually want to do with this design, which is make it a nice satin column, which is different from a pattern fill and a satin area, because basically I want it to be nice and raised with satin lines. If you don't know what a satin line is, you're going to want to look that up, because a satin line is different from a running stitch, is different from a pattern fill, is different from all these other things, and if you don't know which one you're shooting for, it's going to make it real hard to digitize.